Hello, Table Talk community. I hope everyone is well and doing good today. It is so beautiful outside. It's just, I cannot help it. I will use one of my components today and sit in the park and just take in the lovely, lovely environment. It is just too beautiful, but I will be safe. I'm going to be safe distancing. I'm going to have my mask on. I'm going to have my sanitizer. I'm going to be with family. I'm going to be totally, totally safe. And you too, definitely be safe, but please take a little walk, even if it's a short walk. Your family, your friends, your partner, and just enjoy today. It's just too good. It's the holiday weekend. I know you guys are going to plan some kind of cooking or some kind of gathering. Please be safe. Please be safe. I want to be able to see you and hear you again on the comments. So that's the most important. I want to be able to see you and hear you again. So today's question is from one of our members. Thank you for leaving the question. It is, my suicide ideations are very strong, and I haven't found a component or a positive antidote to rid myself of those suicide ideations. What is your experience? Thank you, member. Thank you for that response. First, let me say this. Invisible hugs and kisses to you. Very strong invisible hugs and kisses to you. And I want you to know that I am listening. I'm listening to your thoughts. I'm listening to your heart. I'm listening to what you won't say to others, because I am a suicide survivor 2 times over. So what they don't understand, I can absolutely understand the journey. I can absolutely understand the strong pull towards harmful thinking. I can understand the pain. I can understand the isolation. I can understand the misunderstanding when people say they understand, but they really don't understand the deepness of suicide ideations. It's almost like a nagging invitation to harm yourself. And that nagging invitation will not stop until you complete that assignment of harming yourself. So suicide ideation is the not only very bad, it is a strong pull towards destruction. I speak about suicide ideation in my deep depression tornado system theory, and it is a part of my stage 4 seminar regarding suicide ideations, and it speaks to how once you enter into stage 4, you have a harmful invitation to harm yourself and others. And I kind of unpack how that looks based on my experiences with suicide ideations. And I'll just share my story. But before I share my story, I'll say a couple of things to the member with this question. Number one, you're loved. The community loves you. I know your family loves you. I know the people around you loves you. I know you have someone to reach out to wherever you are, whether that be the hotline or whether that be a counselor in your community or in your city. Please don't hesitate. Reach out to them because they're wonderful partners. And absolutely leave comments if you want to leave comments, because from a patient's point of view, I will definitely understand where you're coming from, and I'm a good listener in that regard. And I'll say, to this point, when you're dealing with suicide ideations, sometimes they're so strong, they feel like a rope is around you, and that rope is pulling you into a sinking mudslide. And once you get, you're pulling away so much, but in your thinking, it's making you feel like harming yourself is a good idea. It's dressing it up so nicely. For me, it was making me think like, oh, don't worry, no one's going to miss you. Don't worry, nobody is even caring. Don't worry, don't worry about your kids, because they can take the little bit of life insurance you left and they will live off of that. So they'll be okay. It's okay to die. Just go ahead and just take these a handful of pills and go ahead and sleep yourself away. And then once you start moving to the next step of that, the next step of ideation is start to select your harmful pain of choice, your harmful death of choice, whatever it is. It's going to be pills. It's going to be you're running in front of a vehicle. It's going to be jumping, whatever it is. It's going to be done. In some cases, I speak to this. I'm going to start unpacking the deep depression tornado system theory, because inside the stage 4, it's a sector where it is an unknown space, where I call it the season finale. And in the season finale, you have cases where individuals had accepted their invitation for harming themselves, but their choice of destruction is leaving with someone else. So that means they're harming themselves and harming others. So we got to be very careful when we're dealing with this. That's why it's wonderful when you have a partner. It's wonderful when you reach out to get the help. And when you ask the question, that's signs that you want to know. That's signs that you're reaching out for options. I love it. Continue to do that in your city. Continue to do that with us in the community. The community will share their stories. We will share how we overcame and how we thrived, because this community is a thriving community. We also had that journey, and we also are still fighting that journey, and we are thriving because we're telling mental illness no. We are giving mental illness a black eye. We're saying, I know you there. I know you exist. And we're saying we don't want you to dictate our lives. And how do we display that? By not having irresponsible responses, by doing what you tell us to do. So yes, thank you for reaching out. Thank you for letting us know your thoughts in this matter, because it's a sensitive matter. But I was definitely a suicide survivor 2 times over. And I'll give you a little bit of my story. And I want my story to give you the mental muscle to hold on, and the mental muscle to connect to strong people in your community and to strong people inside our community. just feeling bad, feeling hurtful, things not working out. The suicide ideations got so strong and so bad that I did the first attempt, and the first attempt failed. And the depression got so deep to the point where I couldn't even harm myself the first time. I couldn't even do that right. So then I tried a second attempt sometime later. I don't remember how later, but sometime later I did it a step more, like taking, instead of one bottle, I took 2 bottles, and that didn't work. So I didn't do anything but just I woke up very, very sick, very, very nauseous, with a very, very bad headache, and had super diarrhea. And it was just very, very sick. But keep in mind, I'm not just doing it. My thinking is leading me and instructing me and giving these thoughts. And that's another thing I'll talk about too. These instructional thoughts will lead you, and it's almost like they give you a how-to book on how to harm yourself. So you have to be careful, and we have to start paying attention to fictitious thinking, because those thoughts that I was listening to, I was following their instructions. So the second time was a failure. So the third time, the fictitious thoughts were saying, get to a psychiatrist, get that psychiatrist to write you a prescription of psychotics. And those psychotics, once you take those pills, that's a for sure thing. You're going to take that whole bottle, and you're for sure. That is a success to death. Don't worry. But when I got to that psychiatrist, that psychiatrist led me to a light of hope. She became a wonderful partner in my life going forward. She gave me the options that I needed that I never had before. Sometimes when you think in your mind, you're like, this person has nothing to offer to me. I'm just going to go there. I'm going to get the prescriptions. I'm going to take the prescriptions, and I'm going to do what the fictitious thinking is telling me to do. I'm going to do it. But when I got there, she gave me much more. She gave me life. I was so turned around by what her words were, by what her actions were, by what her execution were. And that was the holistic components that I put together over time. And it takes time to find the right cocktail that is perfect for you, the individual, that's holistic enough to bring your mind to a balance. Because I didn't have those ingredients going in. She helped me put those ingredients together where it yielded results. And I started to see the results within 6 months to a year. I started to want to live. I started to want to do the things that will make my future look better. I started to say those wonderful things to myself, like a self-talk. I want to see how my end looks. I want to see my kids grow up. I want to see my grandkids grow up. I want to see how my future, the dreams that I have in my brain, I would like to see how they end. So I would like to see how yours end. The member, I would like to see how you end your life. 100 years from now, you might be a Nobel Prize winner, art gallery writer, piano musician, singer, actor, You might be all of those things. And I don't want you to rob yourself of those beautiful things because the suicide ideations are heavy. So at this point today, the message is right now. Thank you for reaching out, because you're reaching out because you want answers. So this right here is a thriving table talk community. We're good listeners for you. We're here for you. Everyone, leave your comments, leave your suggestions and not suggestions, leave your experience. Leave your experiences and share your experiences, and absolutely reach out to your community, your neighborhood resources, your city resources, and you have help. You have the people you can go to, and definitely you have options. This is not the end for you. Your future looks good, and we would like to see it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for the question. Invisible hugs and kisses. Until next time, stay healthy.